After months and months and months of waiting, the entire freight train is finally here. Let me move these out your way. Welcome back. We are back again for another unboxing, and this time it is an entire freight train. So yes, I say it's an entire freight train. I could add to this, but as of the moment, as it stands, I am exceptionally happy with it. There are technically two different liveries. It's the same code Wagon. It is, there's 5 in one livery and 23, 24, 25 in another livery. So, but before I dive into this, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Anne and Helen from Great Eastern Model Railways. Thank you to you both, because these are the wagons that I ordered through you. I ordered these, blimey, middle of last year easily. And I do owe a thank you to Rails of Sheffield. Rails of Sheffield is just who I chose to pick up the 2 outer wagons. So it should give you a bit of a clue what type of wagons they are. So yeah, so 2 outer wagons from Rails of Sheffield and the remainder of the wagons from Great Eastern Model Railways. So, but before I show you, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos. And also, obviously, if you've left a comment, I'll get back to you very, very soon. And ladies and gentlemen, we're over 1,400 subscribers, so thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Secondly, it wouldn't be the same without a good cup of tea. So cheers. Oh, that's a good cup of tea. Right, let's get to it. Right, safety first. Obviously, I know I'm holding the blade. It becomes a little bit difficult when I am holding the handle, but I'm very careful, even though the last unboxing I did actually cut myself, but we'll skim over that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the incredible, long-awaited, very long-awaited Dapol JHA ARC, and I also have the Hanson livery wagons as well. Right, let's grab 2 of these out. So what do we have? So these are, this particular one is an inner wagon. Like I say, I can't even remember when I ordered these wagons. It was easily the middle of last year, I'm sure. Obviously, if you can remember when they released the information on these, obviously please let me know, because it has got to be at least 12 months. Look at that. Look how stunning that is. And you have also the open bogie as well. So that's the first one. That's the first one. Right, let's find the second one. Right, second one. So this one is the later version. When I say later version, the later livery. And this is in the stunning Hanson livery. But you don't want to see these in my hand. You want to hear a bit of history and you want to see the detail up close. So here we go. Well, where do we start with the history of these wagons? For this, we go back to the mid-1980s and we take a look at Foster Yeoman, who were also stone suppliers. Foster Yeoman was no stranger to having privately owned wagons. The advantage of this is that they could specify their exact needs and also have a high availability. This is down to the wagons being repaired and stored on site. The need for stone was ever increasing, so bigger and bigger wagons were needed. Foster Yeoman and ARC was originally known as Amy Roadstone Corporation, which was the surname of William Charles Amy, who was also the founder in 1921. Both companies had privately owned wagons and also leased privately owned wagons as well, from the likes of the 2-axle hop or PGA wagon and also the 100-ton PTA wagons that later become the JTA and JUA undertops. But that is where the similarities end. Starting with Foster Yeoman also had 20 different variant of the Procore PTAs. In 1984 they had a fleet of 37 high capacity aluminium bogie hoppers, classed as PHAs, also made by Procore, but due to serious issues with the wagons they were all broken up by 1989. In 1988 to 1989 the Orenstein and Koppel bogie box wagon joined the Foster Yeoman fleet, with a tops number of JYA. Also from the same company came the JHA hopper wagon, with over a 77-ton payload. They were the mainstay of the Foster Yeoman hopper fleet. It wasn't uncommon in busy times for other privately owned and branded wagons to be hired in. This was usually from Tip Hook Rail, who had a large range of wagons, from bogie box type, the JRAs, to the bogie hopper wagon, the KPAs, which later in life became the basis of the JJA auto ballisters, just in a slightly different form. Also on Tip Hook Rail's books was 100-ton steel wagons, container wagons and 100-ton tank wagons, just to name a few. Roll round to the late 1980s to the early 1990s, and an order was placed with Pal Dufferin. Over 120 wagons were ordered, 92 inner wagons with knuckle couplings both ends, and just over 30 outer wagons with only one end having a knuckle coupling, the other end having conventional 3-link coupling and buffers. In 1989 Hanson acquired ARC, but the wagons were still delivered in the house colours of ARC, the mustard yellow and grey. In 1993 Foster Yeoman and ARC, now Hanson, joined forces, as it was more cost effective to share locos and rolling stock, and they became Mendit Rail. Most, if not all, ARC JHAs eventually lost their striking livery of mustard yellow and grey in favour of the Hanson house colours. Some wagons ended up in just in plain silver but with no branding on the sides. When this happened, I'm unsure. With a nearly 40-year lifespan, in 2025, if not all of the almost legendary Foster Yeoman 102-ton JHA wagons and our very own beloved Hanson JHAs have sadly been sent for scrap. Shame. But all is not lost. The wagons have been replaced by much newer HOAs and even the newer HOABs, and these are in some very striking colours. These are also privately owned but by wagon leasing companies. So watch this space. Some new wagons will be ordered soon. With these wagons I'll start with the main feature, the bogies. The wheels and axles are actually supported on the inside of the frame in actual bearings. Also on the inside of the bogie we see springs. On the outside we see dampers, rubber cushions, brake pads and rigging, along with brake discs on the outer surface of the wheels. These would technically be silver due to the pads making contact with the disc surface. Moving in, and we are greeted with 3 detailed doors, with framework, levers and rigging all present. To the sides and the ends, and to the straight lines and the sharp angles that capture the wagon's plain look perfectly. All inner wagons have knuckle or buckeye couplings, meaning they are cheaper in real life to manufacture due to the fact that they don't need buffers. They can also sit closer to the next wagon, meaning less space is taken up in yards and on the network. All model outer wagons come with buffers and conventional couplings, but they also come with tail lamps. There is no option for an end wagon and no tail lamp. Shame. With the paint scheme on both liveries looking clean and crisp, from the likes of the Hanson branding and the 9 squares to the ARC lettering. All warning panels, labels and wordings are all legible. The inside of the wagon is a plain affair, with the ribs and doors represented, all finished in brown. There you go. That's what the inside of it looks like. I'm not too sure how you remove it or anything like that. Obviously just read the instructions that are there. I will look into it more detail as and when I come to get the light working. And there is the other side. There you go. Simple. For anyone who does wish to take the side off and obviously put a decoder in there, these easily pop out. There you go. They're just all they do is just clip in with obviously with the center pivot. So you just need a little bit of force just to pry it up. Just be careful, do not damage it, because obviously it's quite a delicate little item. And what you have is 2 screws either side. So you have a screw here and obviously a screw here as well underneath this bogie. So obviously you have to remove this bogie as well, and it's the same with the other side. And the sides just pry out, just be gentle. Obviously, what wagon review wouldn't be without a wagon push test. And with any wagon review, you need obviously a wagon weigh-in. There we go, 166 grams. We're talking about these wagons, we have to give a bit of time for these incredible masterpieces, the bogies. So what do we have? We have internal bushes, so you have brass bushes there. You also have the springs as well. You have various brake rigging in there, and you also have brake shoes. Obviously this would be the disc face, but this would technically be silver because obviously this would be the contact point between the pads and the disc. Also you have dampers, etc., and the rest of the detail as well. Looks absolutely phenomenal. And obviously this one, like I said, it is actually missing the brake pads, so I will have to I will check the box for that to see if it's fallen off or anything like that. So, but it's nothing to cry over. There we go. What do you think? Is it your cup of tea or just nothing whatsoever? In my eyes, they look absolutely incredible. They really, really do. The reason why I got 5 Hanson wagons, I'm not too sure if during the era of the ARC, would the Hanson and ARC have run together at any point. If you do know, please let me know. But the reason why I got 5 Hanson wagons is because I'm going to put them into a jumbo train with 20 JHA Foster Yeoman wagons, and I also have other hopper wagons to go in there as well. So in total there should be about 40. Yeah, I can't wait. So hopefully I'll be able to create several jumbo trains using the first lot of JHA Foster Yeoman wagons. So, but that's another story. I'll show you another time. And the reason why I've gone down this road is because I took a narrowboat holiday with my folks, and it is actually out there. So I will put a link to this particular video at the end of this video. So basically, the Kennet and Avon Canal goes along. What is it Merehead Quarry or Watley Quarry? I can't remember. It's around the Bath Bristol area. So that was the Kennet and Avon Canal, and what is going along there but jumbo trains. And when you hear it, you feel it, you see it, you even smell it as well. It is such a phenomenal thing to witness. It really, really is. Because there's an app, is it Open Train Times or Real Time Trains? I can't remember which it is. And a lot of those, because it tells you the weight of the train, or as a rough guide, and usually they're about 4,500 tons, give or take. And it is, to see it is phenomenal. It really, really is. So there'll be a link to that video at the end of this one. So, but you don't want to hear me waffling on. You want to see some of these wagons in a freight train, and that is what you're going to get. So sit back and relax and enjoy this. There we go. What do you think? Absolutely incredible. It really, really is. I put the Hanson ones in there just to show you what the livery is like. But I am planning on running the ARC wagons just purely on their own. Regarding the loco that pulled it, that is 59103. That is a Dapol model, so that's all-wheel drive and everything, but it's a non-sound loco. So I brought it as a non-sound loco because I was so late to the party, all the sound ones had sold out. I don't even know the decoder in it. It was a decoder just to get us going. So obviously you saw how very jerky it was between notches on the controller. So, and that is the reason why I didn't do a part of the video showing the loco going up to the train and then obviously pulling off, because it wouldn't have been very smooth at all. The reason why I used that, and even that had issues pulling these wagons, so I was destined to use my Cavalex Class 56 008, so that's in the BR blue, to pull these wagons. So it was initially 18 wagons, and it actually stalled. There was so much rolling resistance in these bogies, it actually stalled on the corner, so I couldn't actually use it. So I think if you do have these wagons, I think one, run them in, and then two, add a bit of oil to the bearings as well. So there is bearings that are in there, and I think that will hopefully free it up. I haven't done it as of yet because obviously time wise and things like that. So the Hanson wagons are destined to go into a jumbo train. So the JHA Dapol wagons that are 260 grams, they're really heavy. The bogie is more conventional, where the framework is around the outside, and they run really, really well. I never had an issue having 20 of those behind a Curascale Class 66. So the three jumbo trains that I want to create are using the JHA Foster Yeoman wagons, one with 20 PTA wagons which will sit behind this loco, and then the same Foster Yeomans behind JNAs and JYAs to bring it up to more modern standards, and that's behind a different liveried loco. And the last one would be the Foster Yeoman JHAs and HOAs and HOABs. We got there eventually. And I also have 20 MJA bogie box wagons in Freightliner livery and 10 Freightliner HIAs. So you can imagine the liveried loco that is going to hopefully pull them. Not that those probably two lots of wagons would ever run with each other, but I don't really care. So yeah, so obviously if you do have them and you do want to run it in a full length train, just be very mindful that you might need a wide open layout to do it. So other than that, the wagons are absolutely incredible. They really, really are. So regarding the 37-37-1, that is mine. That is a deluxe model from Bachmann. So are all the wagons as well. The POAs, they're Bachmann. So there's the one, these little Tiger Rail ones. And then the VTG PTAs are a Curascale. So there we go. I think that is everything. So obviously, just a little word of warning. I think oil the axles up, so, and hopefully that will make them run freely or freer. So I just want to say a massive thank you to my brother for allowing me to run my trains round. Yeah, obviously his layout. So his links are down below. So please check him out. And obviously a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos. And obviously if you want to leave a comment, please feel free. I'll get back to you very soon. And obviously if I liked it and loved the comment, it usually means I have replied back to you. So obviously I'm not ignoring you. There's some issue going on that it doesn't come up with the person who left the comment in my comment. So you get notified. So I don't know why. So but until next time, thank you so much for watching. See you later.